Power vanishes the instant it becomes widespread. Society does not honor the man who is endlessly available. Instead, it devours his presence, only to cast him aside when he's no longer useful. Machiavelli grasped a harsh reality. What is everywhere is without worth. What is rare inspires awe. Gold's value is rooted in its scarcity, and power follows the same rule. Ancient monarchs never mingled with the masses. They emerged as seldom as eclipses, compelling people's anticipation, wonder, and even dread. The less one discloses, the more others envision, and those visions tend to be more intimidating than truth itself. Limiting access is not a sign of feebleness. It is deliberate strategy. Restrict entry to your life, and a thirst forms. Retreat, and they seek you out. Guide when you are seen and weaponize your absence. Cease chasing approval. Resist the urge to be constantly reachable. Machiavelli's philosophy is succinct. Display yourself sparingly, escalate your demands, and observe as others elevate your worth from a pawn to a trophy. Perpetual accessibility makes you disposable. Rarity sets you apart, untouchable. That's when individuals begin to fear your absence. Scarcity isn't merely preservation. It casts an invisible magnetic field, compelling people to tread with caution around you. They dread losing favor and scrutinize your choices, interpreting your every gesture as intentional, weighty. You stop being a mere individual and become an influence. This atmosphere changes behavior. Inaccessibility prevents being taken for granted. Unpredictability ignites their curiosity, while autonomy earns both respect and trepidation. This aura isn't mystical. It's rooted in practical psychology. Machiavelli saw this unfold in Renaissance courts. Those who rationed their public appearances became the fulcrum of courtly intrigue. Nobles whispered, speculated, vied for proximity. The prince, meanwhile, let scarcity do the heavy lifting. This same craft can be cultivated now. It requires discipline, not ego. Refrain from explanations for your absence. Never justify your silence. Invite speculation and pursuit without revealing your motives. When people are unsure how they stand with you, they labor to gain your admiration. Remember, this aura, though potent, is a double-edged sword. It can lure you into self-deception, selling you the myth that scarcity alone ensures invulnerability. Machiavelli cautioned, perception is not enough. Real strength is still needed. If you are rare but lack substance, your facade crumbles. If rarity is backed by strength, your legend becomes unbreakable. The goal is equilibrium, visible enough that people recall you, rare enough that your company is desired, amiable enough to avoid animosity, remote enough to eschew contempt. Balance is the seat of true authority. The masters of this art do more than possess power. They radiate it. Their arrival, anticipated by all, speaks volumes before words are even exchanged. This is the Machiavellian doctrine of scarcity. When used wisely, it generates not just respect, but fear, not just admiration, but dependence. Human beings judge value by difficulty of acquisition, not inherent merit. Machiavelli took advantage of this flaw. He said, "Men esteem lightly what is easily acquired. To augment your perceived worth, begin by cultivating rarity. People honor gold not because of its utility. It became precious long before its true uses were found, but for its scarcity. Mirror this logic in your life. Make yourself common everywhere, and people cease to prize you. Restrict your presence. Act as the monarch whose gates open only to the select, and suddenly your worth becomes incalculable. Scarcity breeds tension. When instant access is denied, minds wander. What are you doing? Who are you connecting with? What schemes are you plotting? The less seen, the more assumed. Concealed stature inspires omnipotence. Silence signals importance and inaccessibility. Today's world urges endless connectivity, instant response. Yet constant presence breeds banality, stripping you of power. Once mapped, once known, you are no longer feared nor valued. You become as ubiquitous and overlooked as the water in a street. Useful, but uninspiring. Machiavelli studied sovereigns who wielded absence deliberately. They'd vanish from the court, provoking anxieties in their nobles. They'd withhold decisions, inspiring pleas. Strictly rationed audiences made even opponents crave inclusion. Scarcity breeds desire, but more crucially, it cultivates dependence. In all journeys, the colleague who's perpetually available is disregarded, the friend always saying yes is ignored, the lover endearing but soon common. When something is hard to obtain, it is naturally esteemed higher. The psychology of scarcity works because people are instinctively drawn toward what pulls away and indifferent to what approaches. Completion bores. Uncertainty captivates. Machiavelli's key lesson: to seem powerful, you must be rare, not by disappearing entirely, but appearing on chosen terms, at chosen times, like a sovereign taking the throne. If you are always expected to respond, you serve. If they wait for your word, you rule. Scarcity is a calculated move, not passivity. Controlled silence forces others to act first. When you speak, every utterance weighs more. When you show up, your presence is magnified. This is how leaders, warriors, and schemers become legendary, by refusing to be common. Scarcity is an intentional tool, a weapon. Machiavelli's genius lay in weaponizing human frailty. If people tie value to rarity, then guard your visibility as a miser guards his gold. This approach is not hiding. It's strategic entrance. Each appearance is heavy with significance. Machiavelli's blueprint for scarcity. Step 1. Withdraw methodically. No ubiquitous visibility, no readiness to respond. Distance breeds curiosity. Your absence sparks speculation, building influence. Step 2. Dictate access. Like a king, choose your audience, make your time a privilege, and expectations will adjust to your standards. Step 3. Appear with intention. Let gestures and encounters feel like gifts. The less frequent, the greater the impact. Step 4. Turn absence into mystery. Don't vanish too long. Offer just enough to fuel hunger and speculation. Step 5. Shape perspective. By limiting yourself, you show only what you wish, leaving others guessing. Machiavelli observed this in Renaissance halls. Rulers appeared exclusively to decree, forcing courtiers to wait long stretches for any interaction. That wait itself was a message. I decide. The formula endures. In business, be the rare expert. In relationships, be the pursued. In every setting, let your withheld presence do the talking. Scarcity calls the shots. When others must adapt to your schedule, your authority grows. Your eventual presence feels like a reward, not routine. Machiavelli's approach is simple, even ruthless. Appear sparingly, escalate expectations, induce longing, and command attention. Scarcity turns you from cheap to cherished, but true power requires others to chase. Never pursue, always attract. The prince who chases becomes subordinate. The one pursued arises as true ruler. How do you incite pursuit? First, use delays as leverage. Don't grant time instantly. Waiting multiplies desire. Delay weakens others, making them question their esteem with you. Second, employ controlled unpredictability. If no one can pin you down, they remain alert and intend to please. Third, reward selectively. Treat earned access as a prize, not a right. Selective reward spurs competition for your favor. Fourth, let silence build hunger. Sometimes a lack of reaction forces projection. Imagination fills gaps, encouraging people to chase approval to ease uncertainty. Fifth, always exhibit strength when present. Every word and gesture should be purposeful, making your appearances an event. People obsess when they're uncertain of your thoughts. They expend energy trying to regain favor. Leaders, CEOs, generals, none make themselves freely available. Their discipline commands respect. Their silence is formidable. In business, demand proof of worth before collaboration. In relationships, be the one chased. In every exchange, radiate truth. Your time is valuable, your approval rare. Investment breeds fear of loss. Scarcity does more than raise your value. It anchors loyalty. People protect and obey those whose absence terrifies them. Scarcity is power. Constant accessibility drains authority. Machiavelli saw this before modernity. Familiarity spawns contempt. Overexposure creates equality, a poison to dominance. Royalty restricted appearances for strategic elevation. Those compelled to wait for an audience valued it deeply. The always present man, meanwhile, loses all distinction. His words have no heft, his returns bring no anticipation, his generosity fades into expectation. Constant availability teaches exploitation. The supply seems endless, receiving little in return. Worse, exposure exposes flaws, uncertainty, and extinguishes mystique. Power relies on image just as much as reality. This holds true in all domains. In business, constant visibility makes experts into background actors. In relationships, too much availability leads to neglect. The law is universal. Abundance is ignored. Rarity is coveted. If you flood others with access, you're soon seen as replaceable. Machiavelli advised, control both actions and availability. Appear busy, important, unpredictable. Create a vacuum that magnetizes desire, fear, and respect. If you wish to maintain power, resist constant presence and response. Never let availability become weakness. Instead, exercise discipline. Be seen less, speak less, offer less. Make your presence felt through absence. When gone, let people feel the loss. When you return, let it feel momentous. Power holds two forms, tangible and felt. Scarcity builds the latter. It's not what you possess or say, but what others believe you could do. Limited access makes others imagine endless possibilities, alliances, and schemes. Their anxiety about exclusion builds your reputation more than effort ever could. Silence becomes deafening, every word a proclamation. Each gesture is magnified, every appearance is an occasion. Those who await your attention fiercely defend your reputation. They want to prove worthy, so they silence your detractors. Scarcity turns absence into pressure. Inaccessibility sparks speculation, exaggerating your capabilities. Fear of replacement drives pursuit and submission. Chasing weakens power. The powerful must let others chase. Scarcity shifts value upward. Control presence, time, and speech. Make each moment notable. Scarcity makes others lean in, proves they need you more than you need them. When dependency grows, you become the axis of desire. Master scarcity. Power follows you, not the other way around. True scarcity breeds an aura. People see you as more than a person. They see a legend. They interpret your silence as intentional, every move as strategy. The aura is potent, absence painful, approval coveted. Your reputation is guarded, not from loyalty alone, but from fear of losing touch. Discipline is the key. Anyone can be widely seen. Few can resist that urge. Scarcity demands restraint. The weak plead for attention. The strong let absence speak. But beware, the cost of scarcity is substantiation. Rarity without substance is hollow. Rarity and strength together make myth. This is Machiavelli's method. effective in courts, companies, or personal affairs. The world values rarity, not desperation. So, resist the urge to overshare, to over-explain, to over-appear. Make yourself the subject of pursuit. Let others discover what you do not give freely. The whispers behind your back, the speculation in your absence. Let them become your power. If you've grasped something new, share this wisdom, for it will not always remain free. Strive to be scarce, wanted, and feared, and let the air announce your presence before you enter a room.